I don't like that at all. All right, guys, welcome back. We got another cool ring today. So today we're going to make a ring out of this. This is called Calcion, because there's two parts to it. The red color is a bio-based resin, and then the other material is called calcite, which is a natural mineral deposit. And then they just use the resin, the colored resin, to stabilize that so that there's no pockets or voids or holes. So that's what it is. We're gonna give it a shot. I don't know how this is gonna go. We're gonna find out. All right, so we're gonna try to cut this in half, just see what happens. It's actually cutting really nice. Ooh, it's got a, you're not gonna be able to tell this, but it's got a distinct smell to it. I think that's one of the most interesting things. Every time I get a new material, it's always so fascinating to me to like see how it reacts, how it behaves, and also like how it smells. And you get to the point where you work with these materials enough where you walk into the shop and you're like, oh, somebody has been making a true stone ring, or somebody has been, you know, making an opal ring, just purely based on the smell. So this has another distinct smell to it. That's interesting. We have two different bits for this CNC machine here. We've got kind of a sharp wood bit, and then we've got a diamond tipped bit. I think we're gonna try the diamond just because I know that calcite is a mineral deposit and diamond typically works better for things like stone. That's what we're gonna try. That cut really, really well. So I like the stone bits. I run a really gradual program just to not stress the material. But honestly, it didn't look like it was too stressed to begin with. I don't think we're in too much danger of it cracking. So that turned out really, really well. I'm gonna measure this thickness. It looks like we are at about 8 millimeters, which is actually perfect. That is the most common width that people choose. So we're gonna take our carbon tubes that we make here in-house, and we're gonna cut an 8 millimeter piece off. I just got it wet, and now that we've got a hole in it, you can actually kind of see what exactly the pattern is gonna look like, because obviously we're gonna be just outside of that. And so what is happening on the inside should be roughly what the outside of the ring looks like when we're done. One thing about doing our own layups, when you do a composite layup, you actually have really great control over the inside diameter, because it just matches whatever mandrel you put it on. But you don't have a lot of control about the outside diameter. You can make your best guess by number of layers of carbon that you put on there, but those fibers tend to move around during the baking process, and so we're never quite sure what the OD is. So we're gonna put this on the lathe and shrink that outside diameter until it just slides right perfectly inside of there. The same diamond bits that work on this calcium are also what's best for carbon, so it simplifies things. That's it. Super good, tight, snug fit. So I'm gonna, this is the fast part. So I'm gonna glue the inside, glue the outside, and then I'm gonna set them here. And I like putting the glue on the inside because it makes it look like what the outside is gonna be. Okay, here we go. Perfect. All right, we'll give that just a couple of minutes to cure and we should be ready to roll. Fun fact about super glue, one of the reasons I hate it is it doesn't evaporate like water. And so when it gets on your skin, on your fingers like that, you don't know that it just got on your hands because it doesn't feel wet. And on top of that, it flows really, really well. So it flows into all the nooks and crannies. And you have no idea that that is happening until you touch something and you stick to it. And that is why I hate super glue. Okay, that worked super well. I'm going to trim off some of this excess before we put it back on the lathe. I just want to get the majority of this unusable material off before we go back to the lathe. Yep. There's that very distinct smell. All right, let's go. So what we're gonna do now, we got a little excess glue on the top, and they're not, the carbon sleeve and the calcium is not quite exactly level. So we're gonna sand off the top and bottom and make the two layers exactly even with each other. Yeah, I am really liking this. So the other thing that I'm doing, like as I am working with this stuff, again, I've never worked with this before, so this is all new to me. But as I'm doing it, I'm thinking about how we can turn this into production and actually potentially start selling this. So like this, for example, this is working great. And so I have yet to find anything that's going to stop us from potentially listing this and making it available for purchase. Let's go to the lathe. I'm actually going to try our high-speed steel bit on it, just purely for curiosity. I know that the diamond bits will work, but high-speed steel tends to take off a little more material a little faster, so if we can use it, we're going to use it. But this is all part of that trial and error. I have no idea how it's going to behave, so let's just find out. I like to just barely hit this, just to get that edge back. That's it. Okay, let's see what happens. Oh yeah, see. Nope. I don't like that at all. It just instantly dulled my bit. Look at this. That corner right there used to be a nice sharp corner, and it's already totally completely rounded off. You would expect that from a stone-like material. So yeah, that answers that question. High speed still doesn't work. All right, let's try this. This should be better. Oh yeah, you can already, I can hear it. I can tell just by the sound that good chunks are coming off and that it's behaving correctly. I can also feel it in the way that the dials, the resistance on the lathe dials, I can tell that it's cutting the material and not pushing back too hard. I also like that we're not getting chunks. It's not cracking or breaking. Some stone-like materials will break and, explode chunks off of. This doesn't seem to be doing that. I think it's because the resin is doing its job of holding everything together. Really, really nice. That's nice. Kind of reminds me of like a like a Valentine's Day ring or a beefsteak. Let's see how this thing polishes again. Never done it before. Let's find out. This should make it super glossy. Slow it down. This is the best part, especially when you're working with a material you've never used before, because when it's spinning, you don't really get to see what it actually looks like. But the second you turn the lathe off after polishing is the first time that you actually get to see it. So I love this part. This is my favorite part. So let's turn this off and see what it looks like. Oh yeah. Oh, that's nice. I'm also looking for like voids and cracks and holes, and there are literally none. So this has just been a really easy material to work with so far. It's been awesome. Last step, we are going to bevel the inside, give it a comfort fit, and we're done. Just got to be careful. I only want to touch the carbon with this one. We don't want to ruin that nice polish we just put on it. There we go. And let's hit the inside. Just make it a little uniform.